Hi everyone, and welcome to TWF Friday Night Smackdown. I am Michael Cole, here with Autolycus, the King of Thieves, and with Wade Barrett. And today on Friday Night Smackdown, we're going to see a match that we saw yesterday on Impact on Access TV. We're smashing inside Farseer, and that's going to be Godzilla fighting Gamera here today on Friday Night Smackdown. Michael Cole says, "You got that right," Autolycus says. "We did see Gamera and Godzilla have their first match yesterday on Impact on Access TV, or smashing inside Farseer, and it was one hell of a match, even though Godzilla beat Gamera. I'll tell you," Autolycus said, "I'll tell you one thing," Wade Barrett says. "I think Gamera has to put in more work and more time if he truly wants to beat the king of the fiends, Godzilla. That's what I believe Gamera has to do," Wade Barrett says. "Only I've been more of a Godzilla follower than a Gamera follower." So Gamera says, "I hear the talk. Folks saying, 'Oh, you lost to Godzilla. You lost to Godzilla, king of the fiends.' Well, the truth is, yeah, I did lose to him. Yeah, it did happen. You know, you can't win every match and every fight you go into. But that doesn't make Godzilla greater than me, and far from it. So, let's get talking about, let's talk about Godzilla, or we call him Godzilla. Anyway, who gave him the rank of King of the Fiends? I don't think anyone at Hojo gave him that rank, or Sony, or Warner Brothers. I think we all know what happened. Toho wanted to get his film into the English-speaking world, so what they did was, whoever they got the deal with to make the film, the deal was they skimmed some stuff out. Then they got the show player, William Burns, who played Stephen Martin Burf in Godzilla King of the Fiends, and in the last film, Godzilla 9 Between 85 YL. And they called it Godzilla King of the Fiends, as some cool way to make him stand out from, I don't know, King Kong, the Beast, the Fiend at 50,000 feet, or the other big Fiend, big Efflin films that were coming out before Godzilla and after him. Now, a lot of folks are going to say, "Well, Gamera, aren't you nothing more than a Godzilla knockoff?" If that was true, then everyone's knocking off someone, right? I mean, who was King Kong knocking off? And sadly, King Kong has new makes and new makes and new takes, but never no follow-up films. And somehow, some way, Godzilla at the end of the day, you could most likely think that it was an offshoot from Toho's take on the Fiend at 50,000 feet. We all know that Fiend. "Oh, yeah, I get it now," Godzilla says. "Yeah, you all know my yesteryear kind of well. But Gamera, I did beat you. In the first match, in the first fight we ever had, I beat you. Yeah, you know the yesteryear about how my film started in 9 Between 54 YL. Yeah, there were a lot of big fiends, big Efflin films before me and after me. Yeah, you're right. Who was the first one to ever do it? Some folks say, yep, before me there was King Kong, but sadly we all know King Kong never has no follow-up films. He just gets new makes, new takes, unless you see Son of Kong as a follow-up to the first film. But we're not talking about him. And as far as about the Fiend of 50 feet, yeah, it may have looked like me, but it walked on all freaking floors, and I had that on 4 legs. Oh yeah, that was in black and white, and that may have been in 1935 or 1945. Well, I don't know. So, yeah, I might not be the first fiend to ever come out of water. I mean, hell, you had Gorgo, which was an offshoot of me in some way. You even had Retilicus, who the fuck she or he or whatever. Okay, and sure, yes, Nessie got a bunch of films on itself. So Gamera, yeah, so I might not be the first big fiend or the first big Ethelyn to ever do it, but I've been doing it since nigh between 54 YL. I beat you, Gamera, and you know something? You haven't made any films since 2004 YL. And everyone likes to talk about how great you are, how you were never a bully, never a heel, never a creep. Well, that's bullshit, Gamera, because in your first film, you were like me. Yeah, Godzilla, or Godjor, whatever you want to call yourself, yeah, you beat me. With your tail and your Godzilla stunner, yeah, you beat me. But guess what? Sometimes it don't need how many times you fall, how many times you lose, it's how many times you get back into the fight. And I'm going to get back in the fight here today, and I'm going to beat you. Yeah, well, good luck with that. All I have to do is knock you on your back, and like any ground crawler or any water swimmer, you're weak. Yeah. Hey, how about this? Thinking, oh, and Gamera just knocked Godzilla down with his tail, Michael Cole says. I don't know if Godzilla is being a bully or a creep or a heel. But then again, Godzilla has always been a bully and a creep and a heel in a lot of his films. You know, and a whole row of them. Well, I can tell you one thing, Autolycus says. Gamera is not going to be scathed or shamed or guilted or slighted in any way by Godzilla, the so-called King of the Fiends. Oh, Godzilla just knocked him down with his tail, Michael Cole says. Yeah, you gotta watch out about Godzilla and his tail, Wade Barrett says. Godzilla's beat a lot of fiends in a lot of his films that he's made since between 54 YL, between Toho and Sony and Warner Brothers. Like him, love him, hate him, onlook him, it all doesn't mean anything to him. He's still the king of the fiends. And Gamera, well, he's always going to be seen as that WCW to Godzilla being WWF, or IW to Godzilla being WWE, or TNA AEW to Godzilla WWE. Oh! Well, right now the Fight Lord went down by mistake, by mishap. We can't hold that against him, Michael Cole says. Do you really think that Godzilla hates Gamera, or do you just think it's all about him being about who's the greatest of the fiends, who's the greatest of the Ephelins? Michael Cole says. Well, I don't really truly know, Autolycus says. I mean, Godzilla has been friends with me for years. He's been friends and foe off with Xena for years. So it's hard to tell what Godzilla's mindset or stand is, Autolycus says. Wade Barrett said, I know what Godzilla's stand and his mindset is. It's to beat Gamera again. It's to shame Gamera again. Well, Gamera coming back and knocked down Godzilla. And yes, Godzilla's in a bind right now. Gamera's got him. How's Gamera going to beat Godzilla, Michael Cole said. Does he have an ending hold? We all know Godzilla likes to offshoot from Steve Austin with the Godzilla stunner. Oh, Gamera just offshooted from his stunner. And Godzilla took down, and the Fight Lord went down by mishap or by mistake again. And I think Godzilla is down this time, Michael Cole said. Will Gamera get the win here, Autolycus says. Whoa. Autolycus said. Will Gamera beat Godzilla here today on Friday Night SmackDown? Autolycus said. Wade Barrett said if he can get the 1-2-3 on Godzilla, if he can make Godzilla yield or give in, which I don't think he can, Wade Barrett said 1, 2, 3. Ding ding ding. Here is your winner, Gamera. And it seems that Gamera has gotten the win over Godzilla here today, or Godzilla here today on Friday Night SmackDown. Michael Cole said, who would have believed that would have happened today? In this match or in this fight, Michael Cole said, good for Gamera. Well, yes, Autolycus said, who would have thought that Gamera would have beat Godzilla, King of the Fiends, here today on Friday Night SmackDown? We never thought that would have happened. I think that's a wonder. Yes, it probably is a wonder, Wade Barrett said. I guess God and Jesus had something to do with helping Gamera beat Godzilla here today on Friday Night SmackDown. Only with holy help or godly help would Gamera beat Godzilla, and that's my belief. And I understand now that Gene Okerlund now is going to be talking with Gamera here today. Going to be talking with Gamera here today on Friday Night SmackDown. All right, thank you, Michael Cole. I'm going to thank you, Michael Cole. This time I'm going to be talking with Godzilla, or Godzilla, King of the Fiends, here today on Friday Night SmackDown. Alright, Godzilla, you like to behave as if you are Steve Austin, and you like to say that you are the greatest of all the biggest fiends and Nephilim. Oh, I don't know how Gamera beat me. Well, I've taken some losses. Yes, I lost to King Kong in our first film I ever was in. I lost to Mothra in the first film I was ever in. I have taken some losses. Not as many. And when it came to Biollante, I guess you can say that was a stalemate. I don't know. But anyway, at the end of the day, I've only taken so many losses in my films. Oh, I've won and lost matches in the TWF. That's known. I don't know how Gamera beat me. But if you think this is over, then think again, Gamera. Think again. You are always going to be behind me. If King Kong's in lead of me, then you're going to be behind me. And I guess that could make the argument for any other one. Well, does that mean that Mothra is behind you? Does that mean that Gorgon and Retelicus were behind you? I guess that also means to say that any other big fiend or Nephilim film that came out after you is behind you. Yep, they're all mostly behind me. But I've probably made a lot more films than the rest of them. I know King Kong doesn't reckon, because sadly King Kong is just new take, no follow-ups. So anyway, Gamera, I hope that you make a new film this year. Because geez, you need a lot of catching up to do. And I will have another match with you. It will happen. I'll have another fight with you. This is not over, you hear me? Well, that's my talk with Godzilla, King of the Fiends. Back to you, Michael Cole. Well, thank you, Gene Okerlund, for talking with Godzilla here today on Friday Night SmackDown. And Gamera's back in the ring right now. I just want to tell everyone before we end this film how happy I am to get that win over Godzilla, to beat Godzilla or Godzilla, whatever you want to call him. You know, he always has a belief how he thinks he's so more greater than everyone else, and oh, and Godzilla just gave Gamera the stunner. Yeah, greater than you. Godzilla 316 said, I just stomped your rear. Now you're on your back, where it puts you in a downside. You slide a shit, ground crawler, or you a water crawler. Well, Sadly, Michael Cole said it looks like the bond between Godzilla or Godzilla and Gamera is not over. Sadly. And looks like it is all the time we got here for Friday Night Smackdown. I am Michael Cole for Autolycus, the King of Thieves, and Wade Barrett. We hope you like Friday Night Smackdown, and we'll see you tomorrow for Rampage or Ramfru. By the way, we want to wish everyone, we want to wish everyone a happy Holy Fellow Patrick's Day for those folks out there who onlook that holiday or holy day for that holy man, Patrick. Some do, some don't. But anyways, I want to wish everybody a happy, holy Fellow Patrick's Day for you folks. Goodbye.